This is actually the part B of my lecture on matrix representation of observables for quantum systems. Click the I button here somewhere to watch the part A of this lecture, where we have learned about the outer products satisfying the completeness relation for a set of orthonormal basis vectors. Here we will learn how to use this completeness relation to have the matrix representation of observables for quantum systems. Next, we talk about the representation of operators in psi1 psi2 basis. Let us consider the physical observable H again, and we want to see the matrix representation of this operator in its eigenbasis, that is psi1 and psi2. So we can write down the operator as, we can write down this operator H as this I, H, I. So actually we insert two identity operators, one here, another here. Now we replace this identity operator by this completeness relation. We have already shown that the sum over I of these outer products, sum over I for this outer product, that is psi1 psi1 plus psi2 psi2, this gives us the identity operator. So in place of identity operator we use this completeness relation. So I can write here this as summation over I psi I psi I, and then there is this H operator, and then there is another identity operator which I replace by another completeness relation, psi sum over j psi j psi j, where both these indices I and j goes from, this runs from 1 to 2. And we can actually write this as sum over these indices I and j, and then I'm writing the terms as it is, psi I H, and then there is this ket psi j and bra psi j. Okay, now we define this quantity in the middle, this quantity in the middle by this psi I H psi j. We define this as Hij. So if this is Hij, then this expression becomes sum over both these index I and j psi so this is Hij. So first I write down this Hij, then what is left, this one and this one, right? So this is psi I ket and psi j bra. Actually this Hij given by this Hij are, these are the matrix elements. Okay, so H is equal to the summation over I and j, Hij, psi I, psi j, where these matrix elements Hij are given by this psi I, H psi j. Let me break this sum and write all the terms explicitly here. H11 psi1 plus H12 psi1 psi 2 plus h 2 1 psi 2 psi 1 plus h 2 2 psi 2 psi 2. I have considered all the terms here in the summation where I and j goes from 1 to 2, and the matrix form of this operator in this psi 1 and psi 2 basis. So this psi 1 psi 2 are the eigenvector of H. The matrix form of this operator in this psi 1 psi 2 basis is given by this H 1 1, H 1 2, H 2 1, H 2 2 in psi 1 psi 2 basis. So I write down here the basis psi 1 and psi 2. This is bra psi 1, bra psi 2. So this term, actually this H11 psi 1 psi 1 is given by here. So this H11 psi 1 psi 1. So this term represent this one. This H12 psi 1 psi 2 is this term is represented by this term, and H21 psi 2 psi 1 is represented by this term H21 psi 2 psi 1, and okay, this term H21 psi 2 psi 1, and H22 psi 2 psi 2, this term is represented by this one H22 psi 2 psi 2. And the matrix elements here, these matrix elements are given by this expression. So H11 is given by psi 1 H psi 1, H12 is psi 1 H psi 2, H21 is psi 2 H psi 1, and H22 is psi 2 H psi 2. Now the psi 1 and psi 2 are the eigenvector of this matrix operator H, hence they should satisfy the eigenvalue equation. So they should satisfy this eigenvalue equations. H psi 1 is equal to lambda 1 psi 1 and H psi 2 is equal to lambda 2 psi 2. So now we substitute this H psi 1, we substitute this H psi 1 by lambda 1 psi 1 here. So this will become bra psi 1 and lambda 1 psi 1. I can bring this lambda 1 is just a number, so I can bring it out. So this will be psi 1 psi 1, and we already know that this inner product is equal to 1, and so this will become lambda 1, and we already have calculated the eigenvalue lambda 1 for this matrix operator H. So lambda 1 is 1, right? Okay, now H12, this H psi 2 is given by lambda 2 psi 2. So this is psi 1 lambda 2 psi 2 is equal to lambda 2 psi 1 psi 2. Psi 1 psi 2 are orthogonal vectors, so that is, so this inner product is 0. So this is equal to 0. This will be equal to psi 2, and H psi 1 is given by lambda 1 psi 1, lambda 1 psi 1 is equal to lambda 1 psi 2 psi 1. So this is also is equal to 0, and this H psi 2 is given by lambda 2 psi 2 here. So this will be psi 2 lambda 2 psi 2 is equal to lambda 2 bra psi 2 get psi 2 So this inner product is 1 because they are normalized vector. So this is equal to lambda 2. This lambda 2 we have already calculated. The second eigenvalue of this operator H is 3. Hence we obtain the matrix representation of this operator H in its eigenvector basis psi1 psi2, where these matrix elements are H11. I have already calculated H11 is equal to 1. So H11 is 1, H11 is 1, H12 is 0, H12 is 0, H21 is 0, H22 is 3. This is 3. So this is the matrix representation of this operator H in terms of its eigenvector basis, and also it is clear from this expression that when the operator H is expressed in its eigenvector basis, the matrix operator becomes a diagonal, right? This is a diagonal matrix, and these diagonal elements, this 1 and 3, the diagonal elements are given by the eigenvalues of that matrix operator H. Okay, so this operator H in this basis psi1 and psi2 we have expressed. Often it is very useful to express the operator in this way. Actually we just keep it in this outer product form, various outer product forms. Later in the density matrix formalism of quantum mechanics, we will see that we need to calculate trace of various operators to obtain the average values of physical observables, and taking trace is a linear operation. If we want to calculate the trace of H here, then the trace operation will act linearly on all these terms. So if we want to take the trace of this H, that will be equal to H11. The trace will act linearly on all these terms. So first trace of this term will be, we have already mentioned that trace of an outer product gives you the inner product, plus trace of this term will be trace of this term will give you H21 psi1 psi2, plus trace of this term will give H22 psi2 psi2. Now this psi1 this inner product is 1, right, and this inner product, they will vanish because they are psi1 psi2 are orthogonal, and this term is 1. So finally what we will get, H11 plus H22, which gives us the sum of the diagonal elements of H, right? This looks very trivial, but believe me, when we consider many particle systems and density matrix formalism, this method is very useful to calculate the trace. So then we can keep the matrix in this outer product form as it is. One can actually also substitute these outer products directly here, these outer products, because we have already calculated those outer products, right? So we can substitute explicitly the form of these outer products, namely psi1 this we have already calculated, this is given by this matrix 1 1 1 1, and psi2 outer product, this is given by this matrix half 1 minus 1 minus 1 1, and the outer product psi1 psi2 is given by half this matrix 1 minus 1 1 minus 1, and psi2 remaining is psi2 psi1. This if we calculate this outer product, that will be given by this matrix 1 1 minus 1 minus 1, and now we substitute these outer products here and then add all these terms, this first term, second term, all these terms. If we add up after substituting those expressions of these outer products here, then H will again be, you can easily see that this will be H11 0 0 H22, and we have already seen that H11 is given by psi 1 H psi 1, which is, we have calculated the first eigenvalue, and H22 is psi 2 psi, this is given by the second eigenvalue, it is 3. So this matrix is 1 0 0 3 actually. We can make another important conclusion from this expression of the matrix operator H. So this is already we have written. So we have calculated the values of H11, H12, all these. We substitute that. So H11 is 1, right? So 1 psi 1 psi 1, and H12 is 0 0 psi 1 psi 2, and H21 is 0 psi 2 psi 1 plus this is 3, right? Psi 2 psi 2. So this term and this term vanishes. So we have the only these two terms left, 1 psi 1 psi 1 plus 3 psi 2 psi 2, and actually they are the eigenvalues, right? So this is the first eigenvalue and this is the outer product of the first eigenvector, and this is the second eigenvalue and this outer product. So we can write this as a sum over I, where I goes from 1 to 2, lambda I psi I. Sometimes this expression is written in this way also. This is equal to summation of lambda I pi, where pi are these outer products psi I. They are also called the projection operators sometimes, and this expression, this summation over I and lambda I psi I, this is called the spectral decomposition of the Hermitian operator H. So this is called the spectral decomposition of the Hermitian operator H, and actually any Hermitian operator can have a spectral decomposition like this, where the operator can be expressed in terms of their eigenvalues lambda i's and their eigenvectors psi i's. So far so good. We have obtained the matrix representation of the operator H, matrix representation of the operator H 1 0 0 3 in terms of its eigenvector basis, is psi 1 psi 2, right here also psi 1 psi 2. So the basis vectors are here psi 1 psi 2, but the eigenvectors psi 1 psi 2 are not the only possible basis vectors in this two-dimensional Hilbert space through which the operator H can be expressed. The operator H can also be expressed in some other basis, say for example phi 1 phi 2. Now recall the original form of the matrix operator H, that was equal to 2 minus 1 minus 1 2. Surely this is not the matrix representation of H in its eigenvector basis psi1, psi2. In fact, it is the matrix representation of the operator H in some other basis phi1, phi2, where these phi1, phi2 basis vectors are given by 1, 0, 0, 1. This is also a valid basis in this two-dimensional Hilbert space, and this basis is also called the standard basis or natural basis. This is called natural basis or standard basis. These two vectors phi1 and phi2 also form a complete set of orthonormal basis vectors satisfying the completeness relation. So these vectors also satisfy a completeness relation where the summation over I phi I outer product, this is equal to the identity matrix where I goes from 1 to 2. So explicitly if we write phi 1 plus phi 2 phi 2, this is the identity matrix. One can check easily by substituting the vectors here. To confirm what I have said, let us follow the same method to have the matrix representation of the operator H in this basis phi 1, phi 2. So H can be written as I, H, I. So we insert two identity operators as before, and we replace this identity operator by this completeness relation. So this can be written as I, phi I, then H, then another completeness relation phi in terms of these basis vectors phi j. This is equal to sum over this index I j phi I. I am writing the expression as it is. H phi j is there, and then phi j bra. Now we define this quantity in the middle as Hij. So we call this quantity as Hij. Then this will be sum over I j H I j. So remaining factors are this kth vector and this bra vector. So this is Hij. So this is phi I phi j, where this Hij, these are actually the matrix elements given by this phi I, H, phi j. Okay, so then H is equal to the sum over I and j, Hij, phi I, phi j, where this Hij is given by this one, this brass phi I, H, and then ket phi j, where these basis vectors are now is phi 1 and phi 2. Phi 1 is 1, 0 and phi 2 is 0, 1. Now if we break this summation and write all the terms explicitly, then this will be equal to H11 phi 1 plus H12 phi 1 phi 2 plus H21 phi 2 phi 1 plus H22 phi 2 phi 2, and the matrix elements are given by this h11 h12. These matrix elements are given by this expression. So h11 is actually phi 1 h phi 1, h12 is phi 1 h phi 2, h21 is phi 2 phi 1, and h22 is equal to phi 2 h phi 2. To obtain these matrix elements, now we need to know the action of this operator H on these basis vectors phi 1 and phi 2. And one can easily check that H phi 1, H is given by 2 minus 1 minus 1 2, and phi 1 is 1 0, right? So that matrix product, if we do this matrix multiplication, then we will obtain this 2 and minus 1. And H phi 2, H acting on the basis phi 2 will be 2 minus 1 minus 1 2, and then phi 2, this basis vector phi 2 is 0 1 0 1, and if we do this matrix multiplication, what we obtain? We obtain this minus 1 2. Okay, so now we substitute H phi 1 from here. So H phi 1 is actually this column vector 2 minus 1, so we can substitute those results, and we already know that ket phi 1 is this, so bra phi 1 is will be a row vector, right? 1 0 row vector, and bra phi 2 will be this row vector 0 1. Okay, now we substitute those results. Bra phi 1 is 1 0 row vector, and H phi 1 is given by this column vector 2 minus 1 2 minus 1. So now if we do this matrix multiplication, what is the result? The result will be just 2, and h12, okay, bra phi 1 is 1 0, and h phi 2 is this column vector minus 1 2 minus 1 2, so that is minus 1, right? And bra phi 2 is 0 1, and h phi 1, bra phi 2 is 0 1 row vector, and h phi 1 is this 2 minus 1, this will give us minus 1, and this is equal to bra phi 2 is 0 1 row vector, h phi 2 is given by this minus 1 2 column vector, and this will give us 0 and this 2. So we have all these matrix elements here, and in the matrix form actually this represent this matrix h11 h12 h21 h22 in this basis, right? Phi 1 phi 2 basis. Where this term is represented by this h11 phi 1 phi 1, and this term is represented by this term h12 phi 1 phi 2, and this term is represented by this h21 phi 2 phi 1, and this is h22 phi 2 phi 2, this one. And now we have already calculated the matrix elements here, so we just substitute here, substitute them. h11 is 2, h12 is minus 1, and h21 is minus 1, and this is H22 is 2. Hence we obtain the matrix representation of H in this basis phi 1, phi 2. So we confirmed here that the matrix form, this matrix form 2 minus 1 minus 1 2, this matrix form of H that was originally given to us was actually expressed in this basis, this phi 1 phi 2 basis. Hence in quantum mechanics, when we write an operator in a matrix form, for example H, when we write this operator in a matrix form like this, 2 minus 1 minus 1 2, or when we write H as 1 0 0 3, we should keep in mind that the matrix representation of the operator is given with respect to some basis. Here in this case, the basis vectors are phi 1 phi 2, and in this case the basis vectors are its eigenvectors actually, psi 1 psi 2. This basis psi 1 psi 2 has a special significance because the operator is diagonal in this basis. When we write the operator in its eigenvector basis psi 1 and psi 2, that is, we can write this H is equal to lambda I psi I equal to, when we write this in this basis, actually the eigenvector basis, that is this one, where these are the eigenvalues, right? So these are the eigenvalues. So I have already mentioned that this is the spectral form of this Hermitian operator, and in quantum mechanics we often need to calculate the exponential of an operator, which is very easy to calculate if we diagonalize the operator in this way, and then the exponential of this operator, for example e to the power h, if we want to calculate, it will be very easy to calculate. Then it will be just exponential of this lambda I psi I, or explicitly this is equal to, in this basis, this exponential operator will be just e to the power lambda 1 e to the power, this diagonal elements will be this, and off diagonal terms are 0. So the exponential of this operator can be calculated very easily. You can see when this operator is diagonalized with respect to its eigenvector basis. Also in quantum mechanics, one can go from one set of basis vectors, that is phi 1 phi 2 to psi 1 psi 2, or psi 1 psi 2 to phi 1 phi 2, through unitary transformations, and I will talk more about this, that is the change of basis, in my next lecture. Thanks for watching this video. If this is the first time you are visiting my channel, please don't forget to subscribe it and tap the bell icon to get notified for my new videos. Please comment below. Your thoughts and suggestions would be greatly appreciated.